I don't know, maybe they can hear it, maybe they can't.
Okay.
Hey, can you hear it? That's juicing. Not for me, though. I don't want any more right now. I'm going to have to take a little bit of time off here before I jump back onto the juice train. No Kanduski. So, today I had my second day of the Couch to 10K third week component of stuff. And guess what? I actually ran a little bit further than I thought I did. I thought I was running for 2 minutes or something like that on and whatever else. It's 3. That's right, another 60 seconds more than what I thought it was. It's not like that's that much. It's really not. But, to be perfectly honest, when you're kind of a big guy and you're starting out running, an extra 60 seconds is a little rough on a couple of those segments. I had a moment this morning. I blogged about it over at tahir.wordpress.org.com this evening. Just a little bit about the discouragement that came from looking at yourself, and we do this in everything. So this is nothing new. We're all aware of this. What we do is, life is a progression, okay? Life starts here, it ends here, and the whole entire time that you go across that process, you're growing and you're learning and you're doing all of that. But what we always do is we always take a snapshot of where we are right now. So this morning I took one of those snapshots in the part of my run where I couldn't breathe right, my feet hurt, my legs weren't working right, I started leaning back instead of leaning forward. You know, I was tired. And I took a snapshot, and for a moment that little voice in my head said, "You can't do this. Why are you even doing this? Stop. Just quit." And I laughed, because I laugh at those kind of attacks anymore. And I just said, no, that's not going to happen. I leaned forward, picked my feet up, and just ran through the rest of the segment. But it got me thinking a lot about how often we do that. We do that in our spiritual lives. We do that in our fitness and exercise life. We do that in our, just in work, all kinds of things. We take a snapshot of the moment. That's that time, right then and there. And then what we do is we try to compare ourselves with this ideal that we think we should be at, and all the while we're not quite there yet. But if we were to take a look at that snapshot, and instead of looking forward to what we don't have, look back at where we came from, then all of a sudden we see that there's quite a bit of growth. 3 weeks ago, I couldn't run 60 seconds straight. I couldn't breathe. I had side stitches after my first segment on my first bit of running. Okay? I couldn't go through and barely could complete some of the previous stuff when I first started this. Now I'm looking at a situation where I was up at 5 o'clock this morning in the cold and fog, out running. 3 weeks ago I'd have been sleeping. That's progress. And yeah, I'm not like super runner over here, you know. I don't have my fantastic body and my perfect pecs, and I'm running and doing all... No, that's not me. That's not me yet. Yet. But that's okay. Because compared to where I was 3 weeks ago, I'm a different person now in 3 weeks' time than I was, 3 weeks ago with starting this whole running process. So anyway, just a candid little moment that I had this morning as I was running around in the cold and the fog. I like running in that it gives you some time kind of alone and to think and to kind of process things as you jog and run. Now granted, most of the time right now that I'm running, I'm going, breathe, and I've mentioned this before on the videos. I think on the videos, maybe not, maybe I just wrote about it. But I picture myself as a totally different person. I told you already, the person that runs in my head that is me looks way better than I do. I mean, way better than I do. Perfect form, nice and fit, maybe wearing a headband, maybe a little bit of long, flowy hair. Not like long, but, like just flowy. Why is my wife's laughing at the person in my head who runs that's me?
It's so 80s.
It is a little 80s. It's very Prefontaine. In my head, I see Prefontaine when I run. I'm not that... Muy guapo. No mas. No, but I'm not. And I'm not that guy, and that's okay. But we do this in our spiritual life too. We take a look at where we are right now in our spiritual life, and we compare that to an ideal of Christ and the life that he led, and we go, not there yet, and we get really discouraged. And I'm not saying we shouldn't look forward. Please don't take that the wrong way. Absolutely we should look forward and be working and striving to get closer to that. But if we take a look at where we are now, and we look back on where we were when we started, as a good friend of ours often says, God picks us up off of our own little dunghill, kind of shakes us off and puts us down where he wants us. We've come a long ways most of the time. Now, if we haven't, then we need a little more work. But I think it's that way with exercise, and I think it's that way with fitness, and it's that way with a lot of stuff. I am a very critical person, so I take a snapshot at that moment in time, and I analyze it, and I tear apart details and criticize, and I'm that kind of a person. So I have to recognize that about myself and not get terribly discouraged when those kinds of things happen. So anyway, that was my moment of clarity on this morning's run. Managed to get through it. It was 28 minutes. It is it's 90 on, 90 off. 3 minutes on, 3 minutes off, 90 on, 90 off, 3 minutes on, 3 minutes off, 5-minute cool down, 5-minute warm up. And so I've got one more day of that. It jumps up a bit more starting on next week on Monday. So we'll see how ready I am for that. But it's been good. It's been good. Truthfully, it's been good. You know, I was kind of worried for a little while that I wasn't going to like running, that it was kind of going to be one of those things that I dreaded. And to be perfectly honest, it's kind of enjoyable. It's kind of fun to get out and do it. So at some point in time, I'm going to have to gear up some shoes here in the next little bit. So hey, this is a good, okay, any of you have a hookup to the Nike store? I may want to talk to you. I've been sold somewhat on the Nike Plus shoes. I'm kind of interested in the possibility, so I'm kind of looking at them just from a standpoint of a couple different things. And so I'm considering that. But I still need to go down. We have a cool shop here in Salem called Gallagher Fitness. And they do like fit testing on shoes, and they'll tell you like how big your feet are, which apparently I'm actually not a 12. I'm actually like a 13 apparently the last time I went in. So who knew? 12s feel more comfortable. I feel like I'm wearing clown shoes in 13s. But I also have a little bit wider foot, so that's a little harder to get stuff set up with. But anyway, then that's where I found out that I'm an overpronator. So I found out that when I run, for those of you that don't know, overpronators, we run and we kick in and we roll. And then we step and we kick in and we roll. And it's hard on our knees, it's hard on our ankles, it's hard on the outside of our legs. But the shoes that I'm wearing right now, I have a pair of New Balance that are old, actually. Now they're not anywhere close. But I don't know, maybe they're naturally made for overpronators, but I seem to be able to run in those with no problem. Though that said, my hip flexor's a little sore today. But it's been sore for a while since I did Pilates. I don't think it's the running. So, anyway, I'm rambling. I need to stop. But hey, what? Caught me monologuing. That's right. No capes. But anyway, we will talk at you guys later. Hopefully all is doing well. Lindsay about got hit by a car this morning. That was scary to hear about. I had a couple. I realized this morning it was definitely foggy enough they wouldn't have been able to see me at all. So be careful out there. Be careful out there. I'm checking like triplicate every time I try to cross the road anymore. I don't trust people at all. At all. So, ooh, scary though. That's a scary thing to think about because they're moving fast and I'm not in a car. So there's that. Anyway, I'm glad to hear that all went well there. And those of you guys that are doing this along with, get out, run, have a great morning. I find that it wakes me up like crazy and gives me all sorts of energy. I don't drink coffee anymore. Seriously, get up and run in the morning and I'm money. I'm ready to go. So that's kind of cool. I was a massive coffee addict prior to this, so kind of nice not to be anymore. But anyway, that is that, ladies and gentlemen. Have a fantastic night. Thanks for keeping up and watching update number 4 on Phase 2. Phase 2, update 4.